Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Pranams to Shri G S Raju garu, the speaker of the day, and all the Vedic astronomy enthusiasts who have joined us live on Rishivatika YouTube channel today. I am Venkat Raghavan, Director IISc and host for this session. Let's start with a prayer. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Welcome to Dr. Vedavyasa Memorial Online Lecture Series being conducted by International Institute of Vedic Sciences, Rishivatika, and promoted by Vedavyasa Bharati, UPSC, and Yoga Brotherhood of America with the blessings of our Pujya Guruji, Dr. Vedavyas. Today marks an important milestone with this 15th session on Vedic Astronomy, Roots and Outlines. This is a very interesting subject to all the students and aspirants who gaze the night sky with wonder, seeing the star constellations. I am really excited, along with you all, to learn about Vedic astronomy and be able to identify some of the prominent star constellations we see in the night. Firstly, I would like to introduce about Rishivatika. Rishivatika is a township with 50 plus acres of lush green land near Madanapalli, Chittoor district, Andhra Pradesh. And it is the campus for International Institute of Vedic Sciences, IIVS, for the scientific and spiritual evolution of mankind. IIVS primary focus area includes Vedic education, research in Vedic sciences, education and promotion of Sanskrit, Ayurvedic medicinal plant forms, planetary study, rural development, environment preservation, and green earth projects, etc. Rishivatika Gurukul School with 50 plus students is in the same campus today. Rishivatika has also a Goshala with 30 plus Deshi cows. It is jointly promoted by Vedavyasa Bharati Trust, UPSC, and Yoga Brotherhood of America. I would now introduce Shri G S Raju garu. It's my privilege and a blessing for having this opportunity to introduce Raju garu. Shri Raju garu was born in Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. He graduated from Andhra University with a B.Sc in mathematics. He then received his engineering degree from IISC, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, in communications in the year 1966. He was selected by UPSC and worked in the Ministry of Communications for 36 years before he retired as the Deputy Director General in charge of technology for the southern region of India. He represented India in the UN, United Nations Development Working Groups for 3 years on mobile communication and cellular systems. Subsequently, he represented mobile satellite groups of studies as a rapporteur in Asia Pacific Telecommunity for a group headquartered in Bangkok, consisting of 57 countries. Shri Raju garu was introduced to Pujya Guruji Dr. Vedavyas in the year 1966. Since then, he has learned many astronomical links in the Vedavanmaya. He is the author of 7 books, 3 in English, titled Vedic Sciences in Mahabharata, Our Universe, and Spiritual Living and Targets in Life. There are 4 books in Telugu authored by Raju garu, titled Endukandi Miki Shrama, an audio book Chivaraku Migiledi, an Telugu astronomical book Bharatiya Khagola Vijnanam, and the recent publication in January 2020, Mahatmula Mahaprasthanam. He conducted 10 Vedic seminars under the banner of Vedavyasa Bharati Trust and edited and published the Vedic seminar proceedings. Over the past 25 years, he has conducted several summer camps under the guidance of Pujya Guruji Dr. Vedavyas. He is currently the Vice President of UPSC and Managing Trustee of Vedavyasa Bharati Trust Bangalore and founder for International Institute of Vedic Sciences Rishivatika, a dream project for Dr. Vedavyas. He is also the founder of Vedavyasa Eco Village Society. I would now request Shri G S Raju Garu to bless us with the Vedic wisdom and would request the audience to post their questions in the chat window, which will be taken up at the end of the session. Raju Garu, please.
Harihi Om. Small prayer. Varnanam Madha Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasamapi Rasanam Chandasamapi Mangalanam Jakartarau Vande Vani Vinayakau Sita Rama Gunagrama Punyaranya Viharinau Vande Visuddha Vijnanau Kavishwara Kapishwaro Keki Kanthavanilam Suravara Vilasad Viprapadabhyajihnam Sohadyam Pitavastram Sarasijanayanam Sarvada Suprasannam Panau Narajachapam Kapinikarayutam Bandhuna Sevyamanam Naumidhyam Janakisam Raghuvaramanisam Pushpakarudharamam Pushpakarudharamam. It is a pleasure to tell our friends of Rishivatika, Yoga Mitra Mandali, USKFI, and other audience who are all listening to this basics of Vedic astronomy, especially the roots. There are outlines too in this. Because of the vast content available, the hosts have decided to split it into two. So the first part is today, where we discuss the roots of the Vedic astronomy, outlines of the Vedic astronomy. Now, to start with, anything and everything is totally connected with the past. That is definitely not thousands of years, certainly not lakhs of years. They run into millions of years. When we talk about the yugas, the kalpas, and then the Brahma kalpas, so much is available in the Vedic literature, Vedic Vangmaya. We call it Vedavanmaya, that is more appropriate rather than saying it Vedic literature. Now, under the roots, astronomy is one theme. There are many branches of sciences in Vedas. If one approaches the Vedic scholars who have got learned throughout their life, some of them for 12 years for taking one of the Vedas as a study, or some of them who have learned the Vedangas, and many of them who have mastered the 14 Sastras, Kaavyas connected with this Vedic Vangmaya, then we understand how deep the subject is and then how vast the knowledge is. So as far as this talk is concerned, this presentation is concerned, Vedic astronomy and its roots, a bird's eye view only can be presented by a person who is not so well versed in Sanskrit and dedicated to engineering and other subjects. And mainly, one has to go into an in-depth study of the Vedic literature or Vedavanmaya. So that is how we will start now with the roots of the Vedavanmaya. A bird's eye view we shall see. Next. Now here, the roots are very interesting. The first thing is about the Vedas, and the Rishis gave us. There is no single author, everybody knows. They are called Apaurusheya. So it is not authored by anybody. It is heard and it is shown, and that knowledge, that wisdom, that great Vedic wisdom has been bestowed on Rishis, and they have in turn passed it on to the generations. Many people try to put a tag on the Vedic times. That word itself, that combination of those English two words will be highly embarrassing to the Vedic students or devotees of Veda or those who know Veda, because we cannot fix a simple tag saying that it is so few thousand BC or 5000 BC or 10,000 BC and things like that. It is probably right from the beginning. We will see in the future slides the origin of the creation, etc. Right from that time, the Vedic Vangmaya has commenced. slowly it has been handed over to the present generations, and in future too, that has to continue. Now, the second part is the utilization and uses of this knowledge. Where do we use this Vedic knowledge? This particular one embraces all aspects of life, all aspects of creation, and also all aspects of the vicissitudes or changes or great corrections that the course takes place as the time flows. Time is Mahakala. So as time flows, so much of changes which have to be incorporated into it and which come from the Rishis, not directly intervened by anybody else. So this is the knowledge. So therefore, if we approach anybody who is knowledgeable in the Vedas, they simply say Vedas are full of sciences. So that is very interesting. But many people have different understanding that Vedas are about prayers or pujas, rituals, etc. They are all true, but they are wrong to estimate that the modern science is the only one. There are no sciences in Vedas. But slowly, during the last 3 centuries or 4 centuries, the world, whole of the globe, the people on the planet are realizing how scientific is the knowledge of Veda, of the Vedas. So about the future studies, now we cannot say we know, we have got so much of it in our treasure and these are the Vedas. There is a lot more to contribute to bring out the sciences within that, inherent in that. They are all helpful for the evolution of the mankind further. And if taken seriously, we can, if we take it seriously with reverence, that means we have to have great respect for such great knowledge. Therefore, it can be distributed to anybody. Any interested serious student can receive this knowledge and then use it for the welfare of the mankind, in addition to using it for his own evolution, mankind as a whole. Now here, interesting to know, we generally talk about sky is the limit. We say as if that is the limit. It means the sky is not the limit. The meaning is nobody can reach the sky. They can pass through, they can travel and travel lots and lots of light years or any other measure of distance that we can imagine, but still we cannot touch that sky. Therefore, as at a cosmic level and at a universe level, if we think about it right in the first slide, how and why can we reach? That is the limited measure of knowledge that we can share in these present days, and this is where we are going to see the roots of it. Next slide. The Vedavanmaya is a beautiful term. Vangmaya means it comes from the vak, and then it is a great heap of knowledge and immeasurable. And Veda has got 4 branches. 1, parts, you can say. Samhitas, which are used for Suktas, etc., which can be used for rituals, prayers, and yajnas, homas, havans, so many other things. Brahmanas are the second part of it. They also have similar knowledge. Aranyakas are the third part of it, where many people think that people go to Aranya or forest and they learn. Actually, Arani is the derivative of it. It is 5 rituals is from Arani. The fire is not the one which we just take a matchstick and do. It is done in a specific way, in a very prescribed way, well-defined way. Therefore, Aranyakas also have that meaning, not only those who do in the forest, but also by lighting Aranika, that fire through Arani. Now, the last 4th part, which is mostly known to the modern world, most publicized and reaching many people, is about Upanishads, because in the Samhitas and other parts, there are specific rules for the pronunciation of the Vedas or uttering of the Vedas, Swara, Udatta, Anudatta. There are a lot of rules. So in Upanishads, there are not such severe restrictions. So it is about the life, the philosophy, the use of it, and so many other varieties of things which are brought into popular utilization. Now in this, there is another word called Vedanta. Literal meaning is the end of the Veda, or the substance of the Veda, or the summary of the Veda, or quintessence of the Veda. We can make that word, we can use that word in those terminologies. But then in the modern sages or the modern rishis, And then many of the modern scholars have given a lot of stress onto this Vedanta. One of the persons of our recent times, means at least around, who had lived up to 1902, is Swami Vivekananda, who had introduced Vedanta to the Western world. From the West, large amount of literature has poured in on Vedas and Vedanta and Upanishads. Right now, that is the talk of the day, where educated people and who are into various jobs, and because they are kindled with some fire to know about the Vedas and Vedantas, therefore Vedanta and Upanishads are catching up in a big way, and we go into some detail about it later. Now there are the entire Vedavanmaya, Veda is one heap. Later, about 5,000 years back, Maharshi Vedavyasa, who wrote this Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita and all, he has divided into 4 Vedas, because human evolution is such that in these times it is difficult to study all the 4 Vedas. You can have titles, all the 4 Vedas, Chaturvedi, you can have Trivedi, you can have Dvivedi, you can say, or Mahavedi, whatever we say. But still it is so much that one man's lifetime or 3 lifetimes, as it is known in the Puranas, is not a period enough to know the entire Vedic thing. Therefore, 4 Vedas, Vedavyasa has organized, and he has initiated large number of disciples. It is said that 8,800 people were his disciples who had helped in spreading this knowledge of the Vedas, dividing them into shakhas. Also, it should be remembered that there is Shukla Yajurveda also here, mostly popular in the northern parts of the country and of our country. And then Krishna Yajurveda is most popular in the southern parts. And not that it should be restricted to any, but it so happened that the shakhas are the branches which Maharishi Vedavyasa has organized. They have spread all over, and then we find all the 4 into this. Now, in addition to this, there are Upavedas. Dhanurveda, it is Dhanurvidya. Ayurveda, that is about medicine, health, and wellness. Gandharva Veda, that is music and any other related themes. So these are the Upavedas. Now there are many commentaries available on each of them. Vast amount of literature is available, and many people have been taking it quite seriously, and they are knowing through the commentaries, they are able to understand the meaning of the Veda. But it is no exaggeration to say that if 100 people learn Veda by spending 12 years or 16 years or 20 years for understanding the Vedardha, we can call it, which is better to use the Sanskrit words, because the connotation of these English translations don't really reveal the whole thing. If I say commentaries, and then there are so many types of commentaries, criticisms, that is not the thing. The Vedardha to understand and then distribute it or spread it to the people, probably even 10% of the Vedic scholars will not be eligible. They themselves say that this is not my expansion of the meaning of Vedanta. Many people who study, learn, they can take it to Paurohicha, Puja, Archana, so many other activities, and then get their livelihood. But here Vedanta is something which requires probably a whole lifetime of learning, and then that has to be distributed to the mankind. Next slide. Okay, down the line, to understand this Vedanta, to equip ourselves, or any person, Vedic scholar, to some meaningful value, there is a sloka here which talks about 6 Vedangas, that is parts of the Veda. So they are part of the Veda, but they are separate from the Veda, and these things can be applied to understand the Veda, and these are helpful tools to understand the Veda. So they are 6. So the sloka here says, Mukhyam Vyakaranam, Mukham Vyakaranam Tasya, Jyotisham Netramuchyate, Niruktam, Srotamudvisham, Chandas, Pachidam Pade, Siksha, Shunam, to Vedasya, Hasto, Kalpan, Prachachade. Now here, Chandas, we'll start with this. It is like the legs for the Veda. So Kalpa is hands, Hasta, that is for rituals and other things. Jyotisha is like eye, very important part of the eye. Without eye, we cannot see anything. Niruktam is for the ear. So Siksha is for the nose, Ghana. Vyakaranam is like the Mukham. I mean, which one to use and which one not to use, the words and their etymology, etc. All these things are different subjects. Each one is by some rishis. For example, there are many varieties of chandas, and when we do in our prayers like Vishnu Nama, etc., Anushtup chandas, we utter the chandas, and it has to go in that rhyme or meter. It cannot go at random with any number of letters, etc. So these are the 6 Vedangas. They form part of the Vedavanmaya. Next one. Okay, here on the right side you see Vedavyasa Maharshi, as it has been established in Bangalore. He is the main Pradhana Devata because he has done so much for the Veda, and not only for Veda, so many other Puranas, etc., which we are going to see. In this context, it is interesting to know that whatever subjects he has dealt with and given the vast literature, they are all available in huge quantities, and they are spread all over the country by his disciples. Now, here is a list of about 18. It is called Ashtadasa Puranas, but 19, you can say. One more has been added in between. Agni Purana, Bhagavata Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahma Purana, Brahmanda Purana. The other side, you find the verses, number of verses. That is 15,000 verses, 18,000. That is the volume as to how big each one is. Some of them are very big. For example, Padma Purana is about 55,000 verses. It is half of, nearly a little more than half of the Mahabharata, which is the world's largest, biggest epic. So similarly, if we go Garuda Purana, Kurma Purana, each of them has very interesting themes which are devoted, and there are some common themes also. And one of them we will very soon know in one of the slides coming later about the creation, etc. So Vamana Purana, Varaha Purana, Vishnu Purana, Vayu Purana. Vishnu Purana has been written by Parasara Maharshi. Vedavyasa, who is the son of Parasara, he is called Parasaratmajam. So he has written another, once again, Vishnu Purana, certain more additional things. So these 18 Puranas contain huge amount of astronomical and astronomy related applications of astronomy for the mankind. So this is something very interesting. For somebody to study all the 18 Puranas or 19 Puranas and then collect that part of astronomy only. There are many other subjects within the Puranas, and that one to bring it out will be a great work, very, very great work, big task, not by a person, but a group of scholars will have to put their efforts together. So incidentally, International Institute of Vedic Sciences has taken this as one of the themes in future, so that interested parties can come together, put their ideas. All this literature is available in various languages. All the Indian vernacular languages have translated those original works of Sanskrit, and then they are available. Even in English, we have a lot of them. So that is how the Puranas are there. Mahapuranas, they are called Mahapuranas. Ashtadasa Mahapuranas, 18 Mahapuranas. Next slide, please. Okay. In addition to these 18 Mahapuranas, our Guruji Vedavyasa has written about the life of Maharshi Vedavyasa. In that book, he had devoted quite some volume of work for 18 Upapuranas. In addition to the 18 Mahapuranas, there are 18 Upapuranas. Upapuranas cannot be taken as not very significant or anything. They are also equally important. But within the lifespan of people, it is very difficult to see that all the Puranas cannot be, all the Upapuranas, Mahapuranas, and then other subsequent Puranas we are going to see can be mastered. Therefore, Upapuranas are also equally important. And 18 Atipuranas, there are some more information has to be required. So therefore here, Vedavyasa Maharshi has written Atipuranas. The fourth set of Puranas is Laghu Puranas. They are small and brief and hinting. So more work can be done on them. So these are the 4 Puranas which constitute a very important source within the Vedavanmaya. We are still on the Vedavanmaya only, and I am not taking up individually all the list of these 18 Atipuranas, Upapuranas, Laghu Puranas, etc., because that will be a very detailed presentation. and that will not be a bird's eye view. So here, many of these Puranas contain astronomical descriptions, even this set of 3. And also they speak about the birth of the universe, which is troubling many modern scientists. And every 10 years, there will be some theory coming out, and they will say they will find a wider range of activities and greater importance, gaining greater importance. Now we have a wide range of topics under these themes. Next one. Okay, here, now we come to another subject, another heading, Itihasas. Itihasa means, actually, in simple terms, it is history. And great people have lived on this earth for several years. And then from time to time, they have been there. And in this system of Vedic knowledge, there is what is called an avatara theory. So a person comes as an avatara. A higher one can come in and descend on earth and spend the life and give some morals, values, ethics, life, illustrious life, etc. Ramayana is one such theme. It is called Adi Kavya, the first Kavya. Therefore, it is the life of Rama. I don't think anybody will be there who does not know the life of Rama and Ramayana. So here it is history. There are many people who tend to mislead people out of ignorance that this is mythology, mystery, something. But here it is history. All these things that did happen, but one should have the knowledge and painstaking efforts, assiduous efforts to dwell more into them. Then they will understand how good, how true it is a history. Because astronomy helps. Astronomy is one of the most powerful tools which helps people to conduct dating on various events written in the Vedic, available in the Vedic Vanmaya. One of them is on Ramayana. And after that is Mahabharata. And our country's name also is Bharat. And this is Mahabharata. So probably it is connected with the total history of the country for a few generations. So that's how the title Mahabharata has come. And otherwise, Vedavyasa Maharshi has written it as Jaya, that is the victory, some such activity. The greatest history book and the biggest in the world, there is nobody to challenge that this is the biggest, everybody knows. And the Greeks used to be very proud for quite some centuries that they had the greatest knowledge, and Odysseus and Ulysses and etc., Homer, etc. But this is the book with 1 lakh and plus some more are there. And they are all slokas. And 1 lakh slokas is in one single book. It is called the Mahabharata. And it is full of astronomical references. On what date is Yudhishthira born? On what date Bhima is born? Date, nakshatra, where, so many details, birth details. And this dispels the fact, dissolves the fact that many people accuse us that Indians don't write the chronology correctly. They don't have a listing of things, etc. And some other Western countries are very good in doing it, etc. But if one goes through, it has 18 parvas. If one goes through painstakingly all these things, they will understand. So also Guruji had, Vedavyasa Guruji had encouraged one of us to write a book on Mahabharata. And it's his main PhD thesis is on astronomical dating of Mahabharata. In that connection, he had encouraged us to write about the Vedic sciences in Mahabharata. So that's how a book has come in English, Vedic Science in Mahabharata, though it is a small one, but it does contain all the major events. Bhagavata Purana is another. So many people in our times think Bhagavata means Krishna Leelas and is about devotion, etc., etc. It is so, but it is much more. It is not merely that. How much more? It is actually about the universe in the beginning, how the beginning came, how the evolution came, how the mankind was born, who are the rulers for mankind, who guided mankind to behave like this. It is called Smritis. The Manusmriti, if it is there, so many Smritis, Siksha Smriti, Manusmriti, so many Smritis, which speak about how to conduct oneself in life, in connection with, in relation to the kingdoms, the kings, the rulers, the neighborhood, and the times, seasons, any other thing. Most of the things are written in Smritis. So Bhagavata Purana is not just a book of devotion. It is in addition to a book of devotion, Krishna's life dwelt in great detail. It is a great compilation by Maharshi Vedavyasa. And I should not say compilation, he has written it as by his own. Is a great source of knowing the Sastras and understanding the universe. This is the importance of the book. So second thing is, in this Bhagavata, there are so many astras, Sastras, warfare, and heroes, their rules, rules for the war, etc. are also available. So this can be a great book of study. Plenty of languages this has got to translate to, but it is nothing like reading in the original with a little help from translations and other elders. So this is the third one. The fourth one, the fourth one has got plenty of history books in India. In fact, here it is worth mentioning that unpublished Sanskrit literature manuscripts are listed, and they have estimated that there are 450,000 documents, that is books, are still to be published. Then you can imagine, and this is by a very huge organization which has invested a lot of money and about 10 years of time to collect all this from various sources available, and not only in India but in other parts of the world also. So in this category, large number of, I'm mentioning only two of them. One is Raja Tarangini, which is about the rulers of Kashmir. There is Avantipura in Kashmir. So many other places which are there. So this is a very good source of knowledge about the previous history of Kashmir, which is so much in the news today. Now, second one is Raghuvamsa, out of its importance because of this Ikshvaku, in which the dynasty, in which Lord Sri Rama was born. So we have a good book written by in Sanskrit in Raghuvamsa. Therefore, in this manner, there is Harsha Charitra. So many other books are there. Maybe if I say 1,000, I think it is wrong. It should be much more than that. So, we have good amount of history in Sanskrit, which are got into vernacular languages. We can use them certainly in understanding astronomy. The main point we should not miss that all of them have got astronomical differences. About Ramayana, we are going to dwell a few more minutes later after surveying this, the roots and the literature available. Next one. Okay, in addition, there are Agama Sastras. This itself is an ocean of knowledge. Agamas are so many. The Vaishnava Agamas, Saiva Agamas, Sakteya Agamas, they are all categories. And then in this, we have got a Vaishnava Agamas itself. We have got a good number of them. The oldest of them is supposed to be Vaikhansa Agamas. And it has got quite some Kalpasutras, etc. according to them. Agama deals with the rituals, temples, construction, geometry, geography, so many other activities. So they are in Shaiva Agamas, there are listed about 73 which are popular. And then there are some more smaller ones. The Kaavyas are books which take the themes from Bhagavata or Ramayana or even from Vedic texts and then develop that into a Kavya, a book of knowledge. So there also, here the medieval periods means from Vikramaditya, say about 2000 years up to this, or from Vyasa's time of 5000 years up to this. So many Kavyas have come. In regional languages, regional vernacular languages also, these Kavyas, some of them got translated, some of them have been written originally. So that is the importance. Dharma Sastras. Dharma Sastras are like Smritis, where one has to learn the things and then follow them in their usual life. So these are the Dharma Sastras. On what day to start this, on what day not to start this, etc. This is not just merely astrology or anything. It is Dharma. That is the righteous living. For that, how we have to behave, how we have to conduct ourselves. So these, in broadly, these are the few things which are about the Sastras. These are also an integral part. They have sprung out from this great Vedic Vangmaya. In terms of Vikramaditya, there are 9 great Pandits, scholars, Kavis, poets, and they are called 9 gems. And the Vikramaditya's court is famous, and the literature available are produced at the time is something very high. Astronomical themes are an integral part of it. Next, the regional themes in the vernacular languages are also there, along with translations and originals. Janapada Sahityam. Janapada means, the rural. The rural Sahityam of farmers and other applications of crops, agriculture, etc. They are pretty good. And even that cannot be ignored. And they are connected with astronomy, and some of them are only with astronomy. So these are some good things we should also include in our Vedavanmaya. And then when we explore astronomical ones, we should not this should not go out of our focus. Thank you. Next one. Next slide. Okay. Now here I am entering into an area which is like forest to me, because Surya Siddhanta, this is the main source book, and this requires very, very committed and dedicated study. And what I got from others is only from hearsay, and then here and there I just touched up. But full knowledge of Surya Siddhanta is a must for those who want to dwell on astronomy. This is what we are going to take up with the youngsters, with the help of youngsters who know Sanskrit, and then we will have to get into in a bigger way. Below that, if we come, the Surya Siddhanta, and there are 18 other Siddhantas that they are different. It includes, this is one of them, the first one of them. Brihat Samhita is a literature, is a compendium, it is, you can say, encyclopedia. Probably the world's first encyclopedia on Varaha, by Varahamihira. Varahamihira was the court poet, and right from his younger days, he had done a great work. And then Varaha is a title actually, and it has a historical significance. His name is Mihira. Mihira means sun. And his father was an upasaka of sun. So he named this bright prodigy, a child prodigy, as a Mihira. And then he was the court Asthana Pandita for all the astronomical things, etc. Interestingly, in his contemporaries, among his contemporaries like Kalidasa and many others, most of them have written about astronomy, inducted astronomical themes in between their Kaavyas. So that is quite interesting literature. Now the stalwarts, others, after later times are Aryabhatta, Brahmagupta, etc. Lagatha Maharshi should be mentioned here, because it is understood that he worked on the northern latitudes of Kashmir, maybe not at Siachen, but between Srinagar and that part, where his works have given examples and references, and they relate to, from there, they understood that he must have worked in the upper reaches of Kashmir. And Vararuchi, and when we are going to hear tomorrow about the stars and other constellations, etc., everywhere he has simplified and brought this information of the astronomical references onto material things which we use in day-to-day thing. And he has made a wonderful contribution in this. So this is about the Surya Siddhanta and the associated Siddhantas, which are also books of astronomy. Thanks. Next one. Astadsa Siddhantas. There are 18. That list is given in the sloka, Surya, Pitamaha, Vyasa, etc. So the Pitamaha is Brahma, Vyasa, Vasistha, and Atri Maharshi, Parasara, Kashyapa, Narada, Garga, Marichi. These are Saptarishis. Manu Siddhanta, Angirasa, Romaka Siddhanta, Lomasa, and Polashya, Chavana, Yavana, Bhrugu, and Shaunaka. Shaunaka is a disciple of Maharshi Vedavyasa. So they have all given these Siddhantas. All of them relate to the times, the movement of time, the Kala Jnana, and how time moves, how the celestial bodies are linked to it, how to define them, etc., how to interpret them. These are all the Siddhantas. This itself, there are quite some good scholars in the country. And at least in the previous generation, there used to be a lot of people of they could take out anything connected with this and explain. And now I think we have to put some special effort to develop these themes, to understand them, use them. These are the Astadasa Siddhantas, the 18 Siddhantas. Okay, next one. Okay, now we are jumping into another topic. Here the bird's eye view has ended, but now what we are saying is trying to see a little more in detail about the Vedic origins of Srishti Avirbhava. Today, what is troubling the scientific community of the modern days is how did the creation come in the beginning? How was it? Has it come from this way, that way? There are so many theories. Some of them get lost in the time. Some of them pick up strength, and then they come about the Big Bang is one such theory that had come and is in a state. Similarly, the black hole is another one. That is the modern part of it. If we see the origin of the creation in the Vedic Vedavanmaya, that is our interest. Let us see one by one. Next one. Yes. In Rig Veda, there are Suktas. Of the 4 Vedas, the Rig Veda is the first one. And there are Suktas. Sukta is actually a number of mantras. Just as we have stanzas or padas in poetry, it is poetic. And they are called Suktas. Now the Suktas contain number of mantras. For example, we are going to go into the examples. Rig Veda contains many Suktas. Each mantra contained in the Sukta is called a Rik. If it is in Rig Veda, it is called Rik. The Riks are hymns, that is prayers to Devatas in praise of them. That is at the outset. But the inner meanings we approach separately. It contains a huge amount of astronomical references, mathematics, sciences, physical sciences, so many things are there. Rig Veda starts with Agni and ends with Agni. Probably the importance of this statement is that Agni is one of the most interesting themes of gods or entities who is connected with the creation. Therefore, he is there in the beginning, and if something has to be finished, I think he will be there in the end also. Many Suktas contain astronomy. So that is a big theme, and very learned scholars in India have dealt with astronomical themes on various Suktas. So we are going into that now. Next one. Purusha Sukta. Here I am just giving most of the Suktas are very many, about 1028 or so. Purusha Sukta, which is the most popular one. For anything we are connected with in life, this comes into picture. For prayers, for Abhisheka, for Agama, for all the Agama functions, rituals. And Sri Sukta is another one. And Vishnu Sukta is the third one. Narayana Sukta, Neela Sukta, Rudra Sukta about Shiva, Manyu Sukta, and Pavamana Sukta, and it is for Pavitri Karana, etc. Agni Sukta, it's about Agni. So like that, we have got 1028 Suktas, 1028 Suktas. Of course, there is another version. Somebody has listed a few more added and all by studying how many Suktas are there in Rig Veda. That talks about 1178, etc. But that is some more Suktas must have been got added. And we go to the next part to take up one by one. Next. Suktas, their usage for various occasions. This is very interesting. Here, while we are doing with the astronomical thing, should we know about the other usages? Yes, we have to know. Because whatever we are doing is connected with the celestial bodies. And they are helping, how they are helping, are strengthening, are invited to work for the welfare of the mankind. That is the linkage. These applications have been given in various Agama books. Rishis and their traditions gave us from times immemorial over many Mahayugas and Kalpas. Temple worship is one of them. In all 16 samskaras, here I should briefly halt. Temple worship, when I say, there are some people who have temples and other forms of centers of worship, places of worship. But even those who don't have the temples, those who don't believe in these idols, temples, etc., they also have great amount of astronomy in their books. Only thing is, they have to understand what it is. 1 or 2 references we will derive probably after this course or even tomorrow. In all, 16 samskaras, they are called Shodasa samskaras. When a person is born on earth, there are 16 samskaras from birth to the disappearance. For some strict adherents, there are 23 samskaras. I don't know how many of you have heard. 23 samskaras are there for Vaikhanasa scholars. For those who are born in this Vaikhanasa system, They do that. 16 is for the common, anybody who is connected with the Vedic rituals, etc. From birth to end for human beings. Now in yajnas, yagas, homas, havans, called by whatever systems they are, in multiple time durations. They have got varying lengths for one day to many months and years. These are the things which are going to use this astronomical knowledge. Now for tapasya, for daily pujas in homes, society organizing functions, celebrations, even for major events, and such as foundation of empires, cities, major projects, all of them need to know about the star constellations and the times, how they are going, etc. Because the knowledge of time is connected with the celestial bodies, which is dealt in astronomy. Now, last part is for knowledge, for relief from problems, for rains to overcome droughts in kingdoms, states or countries, for peace in the world, for loka kalyanam, that is for the welfare of the mankind, and for the globe. Not only the globe, not only the planet on which we are living, but for many other lokas, loka kalyanam. This knowledge of astronomy is going to be very useful. And those who get into it one by one topic, these are all themes which need to be studied in depth. So we will get to know. Next one, please. Yes, now we are into the Suktas. Now Purusha Sukta is one of them. As I said, that is the most important one. Nasadeeya Sukta is another, where most of the scholars, and right from times 5,000 years onwards to this, they have given importance to Nasadeeya Sukta in terms of its explanation for the creation of the universe, or origin of the universe. The third one is Suparna Sukta. So that probably we will take up in another, we'll learn two of them. Third one we may take up tomorrow. Next one, please. Okay. Purusha Sukta does not mean a man or woman. Purusha means man, that is these days. But Virat Purusha is Purusha. That is, everything is in him. There is nothing outside him. So that is how the picture, Virat Purusha, Virat Darsana, that is from Bhagavad Gita, this picture has been worked out and imagined, and artists have given this. So we are going to see who is this, what is this Purusha Sukta giving. Okay, next one. Okay, here. Purusha evedagam sarvam yadbhutam yasya bhavyam utamrutattasya sanaha yadannena tirohati etavanasya mahima ato jagayagasya purusha padosya visvabhutani tripadasyam mrutam divi. Okay, first three lines that we will, it is simple, everything is connected with the Purusha, and there is nothing outside him. He is there, everything with him. So that is the last one is what I want to call your attention to. Three here, below at the bottom, the whole is one. That means the entire thing, if you take the universe as one entity, unity one, then here it says Padosya Visvabhutani Tripadasyam Rutandivi, the fourth line. 3/4 remains above, Urdhva means above, while 1/4 descends and manifests, takes shapes routinely. Only 1/4 is visible, 3/4 is not visible. And the scholars and yogis have interpreted this as 3/4 is nirguna. It does not have any attributes. It does not have shape. It does not have any other form, but it is still there. 1/4 is manifested. That means taking shapes. That is the lokas and galaxies and like Milky Way and so many other things. All that put together, the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, the human, mankind, any other things. So there are so many divisions in that. We according to our Bhagavata, 84 lakhs of species are there. Tiryak, Pasu, Paksha, Siddha, Sadhya, Yaksha, Gandha, Kindra, like that. There are so many, the whole ones like anything. All that put together is only 1/3, 1/4. So this is a very, very important thing. It gives a solace to those people who are troubled by the inability to understand how this entire universe is running and by whom. Because this mind takes us, or into our mind it is drilled firmly that 3/4 remains above, only 1/4 is at the is in manifestation, is visible, is tangible. All these relationships, countries, parties, and so many positions, everything. So in that, we are such a very small part. So we should get worried about anything. We should do our job. That is the part. That is the message that comes from this fourth pada. Thanks. Next one. Okay. This is Nasadeeya Sukta. Instead of going into these slokas, I will try to just give you a summary, because this sukta has been done by the Rishis, and then this is most widely quoted sukta when it comes to the creation part of it. Then here, I'm reading the first meaning of the first, this one. At the time of creation of the universe, there was no asat, there was no sat, no solar system, no space, nothing else was present. So it is out of, probably out of, I cannot use this word here because the Rishi has not used, out of Sunya. And he has used Vyoma with the first line. Vyoma paroyat, that is what he said. Nasi drajo no Vyoma paro parevrit, that is what he said. So it means the creation has come. At that time, in the beginning, there was no asat. That means whatever is living, say you can say sat. Whatever is not, that can be said asat. A when added to sat, it becomes asat. So that is not there. And there is no space. There is no light. That will come in the lower stanzas, mantras. So we go to the second mantra, which says, Namrutyo, there is no death, no birth. Mrityu is not there. Asidamrunna, Ratra, no Ratra, na Ratra, no, there is no night, there is no day. If earth is moving, if there is something moving, then it is there. We are not there. Even our globe is not there. Then Asit Prakir, in a state there is something that is one. There is only one thing that is the he is not able to define that, what exactly it is there. Is it gas? It is air? Is it Jala? It is Prithvi? Is it Vayu? Is it Tejas? He is not saying it in this. There is nothing else. That much he is saying. We will go to the third one, third mantra. Okay. Here, a little more clarity is coming. In the beginning of creation, there is mysterious darkness. Tamaha. So darkness is there. Because sun is not there, there is no light. Because celestial bodies, stars have not yet born, so there is some darkness, mysterious darkness, which engulfs the entire creation. So that is there. This entire thing is there. In the 1/4 part of it, the entire thing is there, and that is darkness. Then the interesting word he used is Salila. Salila is explained as a matter with a play of ripple. It is a part of Sat. So when that Salila is there, that means there is something living. Salila is water in normal terms, but our scholars like Dr. P. Vartak and other scholars, they have defined it, they have explained it, that Salila can be understood as the scope for Sabda, that is sound. That is from Salila, the Sabda has come. That is what one of the interpretations is. So, and that Salila is explained as a matter which has ripples, means water. How it moves. There are ripples in a lake. There are ripples in the sky, like that. It's a part of Sat. So we go to the fourth one. Then here he says the great worldly desire comes from the minute, invisible, unworldly seed of mind. Now immediately the word mind has come. So mind means there is something which can think or which can imagine, which can work, plan, things like that. So that is in the third part stanza mantra, we find that there is a desire to use a word, a seed, which is called mind. Now we go to the fourth one. There are 7 actually. The fourth one is here only. Here it says Rashmi means strands. So he uses as Rashmi Re in the first line. Rashmi Re Shavatha. So Rashmi means strands. That is, it can also be interpreted as rays. So slowly some rays have started coming upward or downward. It is probably rays. So rays can be interpreted as strands or light. We'll go to the 6th one. Yes. Then the gods are subsequent to the creation of the universe. So even though we immediately get the theme that gods have created us, that's sort of an understanding. But here in this Vedic origin of Nasadeeya Sukta, the gods are subsequent to the creation of the universe. First universe came and then the gods came. But there are people who quote authority from this Vedic language that first mankind has born and then the gods came up. That is the type of a concept also is there. The sage, that is the Rishi, says how this universe is originated from. Now he is questioning here how the universe has come. So somewhere somebody has to explain. But he puts in the seventh mantra, who is the highest authority of the universe. See, if something has been made or constructed or given shape, there should be some authority who does it. Can anyone know definitely or not? So he is leaving it a question only in the last one. That means, how do you know that there is universe in this way only, not in that way, etc. So if tomorrow somebody explains us also that no, it has come because of, say, X, the Big Bang theory or black hole theory, something like that. Any number of any number of things which are more recent, still this question remains. So Nasadeeya Sukta is the one which deals with that. Therefore, clear summarizing this Suktas, this one, there is no light, there is no darkness, but mysterious darkness is there, he says in the second one. Then there is no birth, no death, and then no godas, no other things. And slowly, who will be able to explain this? That is what he says. And we are going to the next part of it, and let us see what comes there. Please, next one. Yes, here I think there can be an answer. Mahat enters the Sat, that is what the conclusion is. Mahat means, in the Sanskrit terminology, you can say great, or something great, something powerful, something which has great intelligence, has some high consciousness. Modern words I'm using. It becomes the universe. That Mahat, when it enters Sat, that becomes the universe. It is something like saying, if there is a body made, and if that body prana gets in, then that has life, something like that. It spreads, call it Vyapti. Spreading means Vyapti. Vishnu means Vyapti. Now we are coming down to the gods. Vishnu means Vyapti. So there is a Vishnu Pada which comes later. And then the Jivatmas, Paramatma. There is somebody above and somebody entering into this, all this of creation. He is omnipresent, three qualities, and present everywhere, omnipotent, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing. So these three attributes are given to who has made the creation. I'm not using the word God or Bhagavan or anything, but some supreme power. Okay, next one. Okay, now here we will dwell a little bit into the Sanskrit literature, where, see, this is taken from the sloka in Amarakosha, which is very popular for Sanskrit. That's important. There is a Vyoma Varga section. In that section, Gau Divo Veshtayam Abhram Vyoma Pushkaram Ambaram Nabho Antariksham Gaganam Anantam Sudavatagam Vishnupadam Swakasa Vihayasi Viyayaso Nakaha Avyayam Tarapadam Sabdagunam Meghadwaram Mahabilam. Like the 20 words are used in this one. I have only listed some of them. Dvaya means it is actually shining one. Abhrava means it is there, it expands. Vyoma means there is, it gives opportunity to expand. Vyoma. So Vyoma is sky. Pushkaram means it has got strength that gives to sustain. Then Ambaram, Nabham, Antariksham. Antariksham, Antariksha is a commonly used terminology. That is, Antariksham, we can see the worlds in Antariksham. There are so many lokas to see. Gaganam, that is the place, the path on which the Devas travel. That is the path of Devas, Gaganam. Ananta means endless. Oh, there is no end to it at all, which is really true. Suravartyam, that is, Sura means Devatas again. That is the road they take. Kham is a word for sky. Kham means there is no shape. So it is like water. If you put in something, the water takes that shape, the container. Like that, Akasu, as much as you can see, your telescope is, for example, telescopes are used now. Whatever they say, that is the one. Viyat is a beautiful Sanskrit word, very sweet word. Viyat Ganga, that is what Bhatrahari writes. Viyat Ganga means the divine Ganga which has come from the top. Vishnu Padam, the place of Vishnu. Akasham, that is, there are Surya, Chandra, etc., etc. They shine. That is the place called Akasham. And the two more words are Vihayaha, that is, anything can move in that. And Sancharincha, just moving. Abram, shining one. And this other things, very simple terms are Tarabadham, Shabdagunam, Meghadwaram, Mahavilam. Mahavilam means a great whole. So, like that, the terminology is so good. And in astronomy, you will find all these things when we see the literature. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here I'm showing a very holy person. He is a Mahayogi of modern times, and probably some people have heard about this great person, but he has got a great astronomical relevance. And now here I will give a little bit of an introduction. There are, other than the sun, moon, stars, constellations, nebulas, and so many other things, meteors, etc. We also find comets. Now, each one has some interpretation. Sun comes, he brings light, the day is there, sun sets, the night commences. Like that, we have so many things, the seasons, the ritus. Here, what happens is spiritual enlightenment for the welfare of the mankind can also come from some of the celestial bodies. How? I will take a minute or two to explain this, because this is a very, very important theme, and it is quite significant for the mankind. Otherwise, mankind goes in their own way. The stronger of them, he becomes a Niyanta or anybody, and then takes things in the wrong way, and he can destroy. Now the technologies are so great that they can even destroy the planet. Probably there is a theme that all the asteroids which are there in millions have been pieces, have been a part of a planet which is supposed to be there between Earth and between the Mars and Jupiter. That is where the asteroid belt is there. Now here, this person, initially he has been a contractor, civil contractor from Andhra Pradesh. Those days, Andhra and Tamil Nadu, they were all one. During the early 19th century, or during that early 20th century, what happened is the Halley's Comet, which we know, it comes once in some 70 to 80 years, once in a way, and that circles the sun and goes. On the appearance of Halley's Comet during 1910, on 29th May, the date is very well known, on the night, and the comet was there, and this Swami, whom we see here, he is a master, and initially he was not a master, he was an ordinary person in a very rightful and very righteous, well-doing from a good Brahmin family. He had suddenly received an enlightenment, and people in the neighborhood thought something fell on his house. So they thought some great thing has fallen, and probably there may be fire. So they came running in the night, and then nothing happened, and he just got up. And then when he got up, he was a different man. He was a yogi. And there is no time for us to dwell at great length into this new yoga. It has a very different name. Our Guruji Vedavyasa said it has electronic yoga. This is electronic yoga. So what we will do is, what happened is, the Halley's Comet has brought a big change in him. He was in his house only. He was not watching it or any such thing. So something entered him. That is, you want to call it Chaitanya, you want to call it a blessing. Terminology can be anything, but he is a different person. But he cannot be taken lightly, because the Pudukkottai Maharajas, the Vijayaraghavatrandaman, and such great people, and in Tamil Nadu, in Andhra, and so many other places, parts of the southern parts of the country, they have taken him as a guru. And then he used to bless his ways, etc., of blessing, and his benefits, passing on what is called Sajjah Palam, instantaneously, not tomorrow. You go home and repeat it 10,000 times, I will do. No, not like that, not at all like that. Just as he got it spontaneously, he started transmitting it or giving it, delivering it spontaneously, and changed the life of a huge number of people. And there is a record also, some 778 disciples he has got. Many of them are very prominent ones. And then he left his body in 1920 after doing some, after handing over vast information about the celestial bodies and that things. So here is one example where there is a vast amount of literature. If you vast amount of literature, there are many parts of the south. There are institutions after him. This knowledge is spread for the welfare of the humanity. So what we can say is these celestial bodies and their transits and their movement can bless humanity or can bring something to the humanity so that things go in the right direction, in which direction the original creator has intended them to be. This is where I think I would like to stop. Can we close at this?
So thank you, Rajagarandi, for giving an introduction, a summary of all the roots of Vedic astronomy in today's session. We will have a continuing session tomorrow, which will touch upon a few more topics and identification of the prominent star constellations and the ideas around. There are a few questions from some of the audience, and I would request you to answer them now. So the first question is by Ashok Kumar Garu, asking about which yuga Vedas were written. If you can, I mean, this is one of the concerns I know everybody has, that. So while you have touched upon Vedas being Apaurusheya, it would be good if you can clarify this a bit more.
Okay, this is a very interesting question, because many people have this, and many people err on answering such things. So let me not make the mistake of answering when has Veda started. There's somebody who said it is 1780, another fellow, wiser fellow said it is 5,000 years, another fellow said no, in Ramayana time, Sri Ramachandra said Hanuman is a Trivedi, Chaturvedi. Only who knows Rig Veda so well, he can do this. That sloka is there. So Ramayana is about, you can imagine, it is 12,000, 13,000 in this yuga, in this Mahayuga. But there are so many Mahayugas which passed with Ramayana. So if you count them, it happened in the Vaivasvata Manvantara, first Mahayuga, this is the 7th Mahayuga also, and 14th Mahayuga also. So if you trace back, it would be much more. So it is therefore, and that is one thing. Second thing, many people do a terrible mistake. That is, I'm bold to say this, that is, people say first Veda is Rig Veda. How can they say that? The Rishis have been there, certain things are revealed to them, they have not put a date. Fortunately, today we know which Rishi has given what, how many Riks Maharshi Agastya has given. So according to Agastya, there are certain things. So we cannot really say, and if somebody says it is wrong, you can say. Certainly what I can say is, if somebody attributes a particular day for this, he is wrong. Because if you see our Srishti Avirbhava Kala and the Yugas, etc., there are so many Manvantras. Please go a little before that. The Kalpas, please go a little before that. Brahma Kalpas. So in all these things, where exactly it started, it is difficult. But if something perishes because of neglect, or somebody, somebody takes to it that no, you should do the worship or study in my way only, and he stops other things. Then there is a way they research, they come back to life. That is, there is one Devanatha Maharshi at the time of Ravana Maharshi. So that child was just simply uttering Vedas just like that. So all the Vedic scholars were assembled and they were not able to look at where from he got. Then Bhagavan Ramana said, look, this is Khilam, that is, this is gone. Chutam, Chuti, that means gone. This was there in the Ramayana time. This is Ramana saying. Because Ramana is a personality who is so divine, he could see into time and he could see into people, look into people, etc. So with those people's utterances only, we can answer that it is not right to use the term Vedic times. That is wrong. Veda is there all the time. Did I answer at least to the extent I know?
So the probably the question is coming around in terms of the classification of the Vedas into these 4 parts by the Vedavyasa Maharshi.
That is very clear. That is absolutely clear. 5,000 and some time is there. Vyasa's birth is there. Krishna's birth is there. Krishna's This one is there. After that, 36 years immediately after that, everybody left for Swargarohana to Tirubadrinath. So all these things are well documented, very well there. That the whole book about astronomical dating of Mahabharata or another thing. So many books, so many are pouring in actually now these days, because they are able to link up the speeds and then variations, etc. So according to the established scholarly works, all the 4 Vedas are done by Maharshi Vedavyasa, and maybe not on one day, because 8,800 people sitting at one place and trying to do things is a very huge work. So, but one good story we should tell. Bharadwaja Maharshi, who was one of the Saptarshis in this previous times, that is Yuga. Each Yuga, there is a different Saptarshis. That I think we are going to see tomorrow. He has spent 100 years on Veda. Then he asked Indra for a sanction of another 100 years of life. He did that. And then again, he asked one more 100 years. So he gave. When he was about to ask something more, Indra said, 300 years I have given you, and you have studied the Veda, wonderful work you have done. That is enough, because the entire Veda Rasi, he called Veda Rasi, is like a huge hill, like Badari Hill. Or Sayachini is nothing compared to that, is much bigger than Everest maybe. There, if you take a handful of sand, so that much only you have received in these 300 years. So why do you want more? So he did grant it. So Bharadwaja Maharshi is a Gotra Rishi, like Vasishtha. My Gotra is Vasishtha. Say Agastya Rishi, Kaundinyasa, Mudgala, and Ashok Kumar is from Delhi, is he?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, what was the question?
Is he from Delhi? Okay.
Ashok Kumarji, okay, yeah.
No,
probably.
No, it is not like Now that what happens is, let us see how we derive the things rather than going on the timeline of it, because timeline is the most abused part during the last 1,000 years.
Right. Thank you, Raju. So there is another question from same Ashok Kumar Garu about Ramayana and Mahabharata refers to different periods of history, as you just mentioned again. Both books find references of Lord Parashurama and Hanuman. Can astronomy decode the presence of both lords in both the periods or books? So how do we justify their appearances and their living? Probably, about Hanuman being the Chiranjeevi and appearing in both the epics.
Parashurama also is a Chiranjeevi. He has got a post. He is going to be elevated to some other post that will appear in the literature a little more. But Hanumanji is Brahma. That is as Paka. It is so many times it has given. And in Ramayana, Sri Ramachandra gave a blessing that Achandra Arkam, that is as long as the sun and moon are there, etc. Even the modern scientists have calculated the life for sun, our Surya, Vaivasvata, he is called Vaivasvata. So similar timings are given for Ardra, Betelgeuse. That we are most probably tomorrow going to say that. That is half of its life is gone, that is what he says. So it has become a red star. So red giant, it is one of the red giants. So there is a way of calculating the timings, but you will get in a cycle. Actually, time is a line. It is a timeline. It is wrong for me to say timeline. Time is not a line. It is a cycle. So time circle is samvatsara like that. No? So timeline is what is used in the West. So in timeline, if you go back, then we will be able to trace so many sine waves. So many peaks will come. At which time you are seeing, there it will show a blip. You can see that. But that is not going to help us, because they are Chiranjeevis. You just think of it, you start Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas, part padhiye, then immediately you will see in some corner somebody coming.
Right, sir. And he just confirmed that Ashok Kumarji is from Delhi.
Yeah.
Right, thank you. And there is a third question from Ellapragada Maharshi Garu. Kindly refer any recent books, like any seminar conducted in this space age about Surya Siddhanta, Bruhat Siddhanta, or the other Siddhantas which we talked about, and also any other references. I think you have touched upon the 18 Siddhantas, but the question is about Vedic seminars recently conducted. We have one from the Vedavyasa Bharati Trust, but any other references you would like to quote?
So one thing, sir, I had met in this process of conducting the seminars, I had met some scholars, Vedic scholars from the Godavari belt and other places also, somebody from Maharashtra and other things. And as far as my knowledge goes, maybe about 30 years before. And well before the independence times also, there are great institutions. So like the Tirupati Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, that Pratishthavana. Similarly in Delhi also there is one. And there are other centers like in Maharashtra. For example, if you want to take Mahabharata as a standard, where do you go? Bhandarkar Library, Pune. Who blessed it? Bala Gangadhar Tilak. How do we know Vedic astronomy has picked up this much into the modern thing? Bala Gangadhar Tilak. So similarly, there have been quite some activities. 1989, Nagpur, they held a seminar. It is not a seminar, actually, it's a colloquium. And the 3 publications have come. Motilal Banarsidas have listed them. I have some of them actually with me. And then the stalwarts, 22 stalwarts sat together. And just a lot of this, one of the Nasadeeya Sukta explanation I got from there only. So good part is, this has been happening in some way or the other. And I should add a small thing, because it is Ashok Kumar, I know, I think. What has happened is, astronomy and astrology, they have grown together. They were there together. There is no astronomy means, how do you, from celestial bodies only we get astrology. Whether Raman did this, or maybe Raman did it, or Bharati Vidya Bhavan has picked up from there and all. They are all so linked. So therefore, there are pockets of knowledge, great knowledge. So therefore, as far as the Vedavyasa Bharati is concerned, we have been initiated and we have received through our ears and in the presence His blessings, vast information. But we will have to put it in a scientific way. Otherwise, there are going to be many people in this country to question you, sabut kahan hai? How will I answer if you ask me? So here, if you say Sri Rama, I have seen Krishna's places, I have visited quite a good number of them. So those dates are tallying with those carbon. Dwaraka I had been, the B.S. Rao's things I had seen some things. So I am so convinced, so well convinced. Second thing is, okay, here I will take a small explanation. Uttara is the wife of Abhimanyu. Krishna blessed her son, dead son, stillborn son, Parikshit. So after that great devotion, she has taken up. She lived Krishna lived 36 years after that. She took a great interest and built a temple for Krishna. Then the temple has been moved to Jaipur. My good luck, recently I had been there and other. So there, what happened is, she was a very great devotee of Krishna, Uttara, this lady. Then when the Vigraha was done, from the feet, the main Stapati, the Silpi, asked, man, his feet, is it like this? So please continue. So his body is like this, please continue. The torso, please continue. When the whole face has been made, the Silpi called again. She came, immediately she put her ghungat, that is veil. She became shy because he was listening so well with that.
So lively.
So lively. So she said, please, one namaskar. She did pradarshana, took blessings and went. So here what happens is, there are many geographical situations, temples, holy things, which we can very well connect it. But some people ask the proof, then you have to ask them to equip, because not all things can be given by this for Panchandriyas. There are some things which can appear to me. If I say I have seen Hanuman, will you believe me, my friend? No, I can say that. I was traveling in a flight. One lady said, I have seen Vyasa. Can you believe? She said, yes, I don't namaskar, I believe you. I didn't ask her. Will you believe if I say that? I didn't ask her. That gives the meaning, but I don't want to reveal myself. You got the point in it?
Thank you, sir. I think it gave us a very good insight into the summary of the roots and origins of Vedic astronomy. Today's session was very enlightening. And I would like to quickly give a brief about, the questions are over. And thank you for your time. And I wanted to give a brief about all the audience watching live about the tomorrow's session, where the topics about Vedic astronomy, because some of the aspirants were very keen to hear a lot of stars, identifications, constellations, and the topics around Vedic astronomy, because this was more like a summary of introduction to the Vedic origins of astronomy, today's session. But tomorrow's session will cover about identification of stars with the naked eye and the purpose of this 26,000 years of the rotation of the pole star and the purpose of the 26,000 years of the and various other topics, other 27 prominent star constellations. So all these topics will be following tomorrow. And I would thank you all for your patience and time and joining us live. Stay tuned for tomorrow's session. Thank you, Raju.
Thank you. Thank you.